So we're just going to go over what happened on day 2 in case folks couldn't be here for it, and then I'm going to pass it off to Mark, and we'll get stuff started. I also wanted to take a quick minute to acknowledge this wonderful ARCIS team, Lisa, Zeb, and Kuba, who have really made this seamless in terms of us being able to have a really strong virtual presence. And I can't tell you, this is my first time actually planning a meeting, having this level of input in planning a meeting, and I've been so stressed out. So I don't know how you guys do it all the time as your jobs. There's been a ton of moving parts. There's been a ton of changes. We've had a ton of changes to the agenda just in the last couple weeks. So I can't, I think maybe if we can give a round of applause to these guys real fast. Yeah, and then I also wanted to do a better job of acknowledging the steering committee that was integral in putting this all together. We were having monthly, then bi-weekly, then weekly telecons, trying to make decisions related to how fast this all came together. So we have Paul from Iris Pascal. Oh, he might be washing his hands, sorry. Maybe we can give him a hand when he gets back. We have Satish Chetty from Beyond 66 Solutions. We have Nancy French from Michigan Technology University. We have Karen Frey from Clark University. We have Peter Griffith from NASA Goddard, who couldn't come even after all of his input due to travel restrictions for the whole NASA program. We have Mike Pryor-Jones from Cardiff University. We have Wilson Saltoff from NSF, who had to head back early. Mark Seefeldt from the University of Colorado Boulder. And then Lisa Sheffield Guy from ARCIS. So maybe we can give one more round of applause to these guys as well. And then everybody's saying thank you to Paul when he comes back from washing his hands. So yesterday we had a really great session on data access and sharing. I think we had a great kind of diversity of talks. First, Martin Sweeney from Indiana talking about communication and computation infrastructure in challenging environments. Then we had Aaron, who was actually a very last-minute switch to an oral presentation that we were all very grateful for, talking about big data and surface water change. Then we had Cole from PGC talking about high-resolution data coverage and new possibilities through the Boulder Geospatial Center. And then we had a big afternoon on communications, which I hope everybody learned a lot from. I definitely did. So we had Mike Pryor-Jones starting out talking about how to choose a SATCOM service. Then we had Charlie Lieber from Meridian reviewing all the new changes that have been happening there. Then we had Jonathan Chia from MUOS and from MITRE talking about their recent tests on the Healy. And hopefully maybe we can get him to give a webinar on the presentation that he was supposed to initially give. I think at a later date, because they had clearance issues. And then we had a great SATCON session, starting out with Pat Smith. I will say I learned more from Pat Smith's talk than I didn't even know. I didn't even know what I didn't know. So thanks for that. Then we had Dan Waxter from Leidos, Charlie Lieber from Meridian, Jeff Osborne from Kepler, and Robert Lorenzana from AST America. And then we had a really productive poster session. I think that was something I was worried about. Oh, will people stay for the whole time? And I ended up having to gently ask people to depart the room. So we're glad that so much discussion has been happening in this space. And with that, I'll pass it off to Mark.
All right. Good morning, everybody. And also, obviously, we need to acknowledge Kate and all her efforts that she's put forward. I looked back at our email messages, and the initial invite to form the organizing committee came in early February last year. And so it's been a while that we've been working on this. Our initial plans were to have it in September last year. And after about 3-4 months, we were like, we can't pull that off by September. And so we pushed it off until this March. So thanks to Kate for all the work she's done, especially over the last month. She's really been on top of things. Some few other logistical announcements. For those that are working on rides to the airport, we thought we'd just have a little impromptu meeting in the back corner at the beginning of the morning break if people want to work together to pool their rides to the airport. So if you're in that category, you can go back to the corner at the beginning of the break and figure out how to do that. Since some of you will be leaving during the day, I just wanted to announce, and Lisa mentioned earlier, but at sometime next week, a survey will be going out as a follow-up to get your feedback both on what you thought of this PTC as well as thoughts going forward. So you can start queuing up those thoughts and ideas and reflections from this PTC that will be solicited for you. As well, if you have like more expansive thoughts you want to include, or you come up with thoughts after you complete the survey, you can just send an email to the general ptc2020@arcus.org email address and share those thoughts. And so as we sort of come up together and set a plan going forward, we can use your feedback on that. As well, you've seen the sheets on the walls in the food room asking for feedback on future PDCs as well as other ideas to contribute. Please be adding to those throughout the day, and we'll use those as we sort of pull things together. The recordings for the different presentations will be available. Give them a little time to recover and not as confident. And that'll be next week or the week afterward that the recordings will be available, or the week after that. And anyway, so if you want to both review them or you missed them or you want to share them with others, that will be available out there. And as well, just to give you a preview, in the afternoon, we'll also have a follow-up to the discussion from Tuesday in terms of going forward with the PDC, so you can also be sharing start queuing up your thoughts for that discussion at that time. And if you look at the schedule, lastly, we have a presentation which we did not fill that was canceled, and so we're going to have a little bit longer lunch today. And I think that covers everything, so we will get going on the morning session on instrumentation.